Hi, I'm Dr. Emily Jones, and I'm here with Carly Wright, the Vice President of Advocacy, Equity, Diversity, and Inclusion with Shape America. We're so glad that you have decided to join us today for our virtual tour of the Shape America Legislative Action Center. We're sharing an overview of this website and this resource for you as a way to give you some ideas as to how Shape America has built this tool to help us advocate the local, state, and federal levels. We want to promote the changes that we wish to see in school health and physical education. And more importantly, we want to get your story out there to those people who make decisions at your state level and at your federal level. Nothing is better than your story to bring the data to life and let people know just the impact that you're having in schools and communities. Carly, thanks so much for joining us for this virtual tour of Shape America's Legislative Action Center.
Thank you. I'm so excited to be here and talk about my favorite subject, advocacy.
Well, this resource has been on Shape America's site for quite a while. And I have to tell you, it's taken me a while to find this and realize just how robust it is. So we want to just hit some high points together today.
Yeah.
And here's my first question. How can this site help me find out information about my local representatives and the state representatives that might be interested in hearing my story?
Well, really great question. And, again, I love what you said in the beginning about sharing your personal stories. It's my job every day to work with congressional staff and meet with members of Congress to talk about the importance of health and physical education. But when they hear from teachers out on the ground doing this work every day in schools, those personal stories are just so incredibly powerful. So I can't tell you how important that is and how powerful it is to just share your story. And we hope that our Legislative Action Center makes it easy for you to do that. And so I will show you how exactly you're able to find your individual members of Congress. Quite easy. So when you click on the directory tab here at the top on our Legislative Action Center navigation, it will take you to this page. And so you can easily just, click on your state. I'm in Virginia, or you can enter your address to find your particular members of Congress, which is what I'll do. And then here pulls up easily for us my two senators and my representative for my congressional district as well. So let's click on my friend, Representative Don Beyer here, and see what's available. So if I want to, what I really want to do this week, Emily, is I want to make sure that I'm tweeting at Don Beyer and sharing my personal story about why I love health and physical education and why I decided to go into this field. I can easily do that when I click on his page through the directory here. I can find his Twitter account, his Facebook page, his YouTube page, easily email him directly or visit his website. I can also find more information about his offices, a little background on him, what committees he's on in Congress, which really important things to know, because if anyone is on an education committee or appropriations, that means dollar signs. Right. Those are super important to us, right? So I can find out a lot of great important information and actually connect with my members of Congress directly using the directory. So super helpful tool to just start that outreach and start building those relationships with your members of Congress.
Carly, can you click back on that directory link? And you're telling me that that map of the United States is interactive for every state. So if I live in Georgia, I could click on that and it would show me my representatives. Okay.
Yep, so it would show the two senators for the state of Georgia here, and then here are all the House members for Georgia. So you can see underneath, it shows the number of the congressional district that they represent. But this way we could see everybody for the state of Georgia. And then again, click on anybody, we might want to check out to learn more about them and to be able to connect directly with them and their staff and their office.
What a robust tool. So that gives me a chance. And if I don't know my district, that's where I could have put my address in and it would have showed my local representatives for my district.
Exactly.
Right. And so, yeah, if you don't know, or if you haven't found your representative, this directory site is a place where you can go to figure out the names, the place or the people, and what committees they are working on, what bills they're supporting. And like Carly said, share your career why and your stories by tagging them on your socials so that they can see the impact you're having, the concerns that you might have, and share with them what's important to you.
Exactly. Social media right now has become such an important advocacy tool. You're able to set up a constituent badges so they know if you're a constituent who's communicating with them or not. And, members of Congress, they have staff now who are literally just tracking what they're hearing about on social media. And, there's a lot of noise out there on social media. So if you're sharing a positive, exciting story with your members of Congress on social, it gets noticed. It absolutely does. And just the same way they track phone calls and emails, they're tracking what they're hearing from folks on social media now as well. So it's such a great, easy advocacy tool at your fingertips.
Mm-hmm. Carly, I know you'll probably later talk to us a little bit about Speak Out Day coming up, but is something like tagging my legislator something I should only do during Speak Out Day, or is that something that I could do throughout the year or on a regular basis?
It's absolutely something you should do on a regular basis. My best advice is, as much as possible, if you're able to share photos or videos or some kind of visual when you're tagging your members of Congress, that's the best way to really draw the attention. But advocacy isn't just Speak Out Day or isn't just a one-time event. Advocacy is, a year-long skill, and it's building that relationship over time. And so, yeah, absolutely. If you have great stories to share, let's say your school has utilized Every Student Succeeds Act, Title IV Part A dollars to purchase equipment or to attend a professional development, or maybe you have this awesome new set of heart rate monitors. Hey, take pictures of that. Share your kids using those tools and contact your members of Congress and tag them on social media to show, here are those federal funds in action making an impact on our students out in schools.
That is such good advice. What else might I share with my representatives? And are there resources perhaps that Shape America has built onto this site to let me know what are current issues that are affecting health and PE and that my representatives might need to hear from me about?
Absolutely, absolutely. So once you know who your members of Congress are, great question. You might be wondering, well, what else should I be talking to them about? Sharing your personal stories, super important, incredibly powerful. But you all come to us at Shape America to know what is the latest and greatest on Capitol Hill and what are the issues that are moving right now, the bills that are moving, or the funding opportunities that we should be advocating for. So if you go to the homepage here on our Legislative Action Center, that'll take you to our key issue action alerts here. And probably no surprise to those who may have been engaged with us on advocacy before, you'll see our top two key issues here are advocating for funding for Title II Part A of ESSA and Title IV Part A of ESSA. So we're advocating, of course, for professional development dollars for our teachers, and then for Title IV Part A, where there's specific priority for funding for health and physical education programs there. So when you come here to the homepage and you click on Take Action, you won't believe how quick and easy this is. You enter your address, click Go. It'll take you directly to this action alert. So again, Here you see my friends in Congress here again. And there's even an email already drafted. So this has all of, again, the latest information. We're currently advocating for fiscal year 2022 still, because Congress hasn't gotten around to passing that funding yet. You'll see how much we're advocating for, and all of this is typed out for you. You can enter your name and information, and then just send that directly to them. You're able to, as you can see, you know, make edits, make changes if you want to add any personal stories here. If not, no worries. You can just go ahead and click send as well.
Carly, I also see that there's a print and mail button over there. Some people still appreciate printing, signing, and mailing that. That's a really great tool to have available as well.
Definitely an option. I would say your best bet for most offices is email. The mail service just takes a lot longer to reach them on Capitol Hill, but definitely has that option for you as well. Yeah.
Have you had a fair amount of response from your representatives when you send an email like this? Should I expect, or could I expect a response?
Absolutely. So I know when I send this action alert, which I have done many times, I hear back directly from both of my senators and my representative. I get an email back from them, and it's personalized. They know that we're talking about Every Student Succeeds Act. We're talking about the importance of health and physical education and the need to fund it adequately, right? We talk about a well-rounded education, the importance of whole child education. And so I receive an email back from my members of Congress saying, thank you so much for sharing your opinion as a constituent with me. And, here's my stance on the issue. And they'll let you know whether they have supported that issue or not, and what they have done to support that, whether it's been to, sponsor a bill, or vote yes or no on a particular piece of legislation, and just will provide some really great context and background for you. So yes, you will hear back from your members of Congress, and they again are absolutely tracking the emails that they receive from constituents, so that the more that they hear from their constituents about a particular issue, the more they're going to pay attention and make sure that they're following through to do what voters want them to do around these issues.
Yeah, that's a good point. How important is it that there is volume in and representation from our health and physical education professionals around these issues?
Yeah, super, super, super important. I mean, I have to tell you, when it comes to Title IV Part A, this, under ESSA, this was a new funding stream that was created under ESSA. So a lot of folks weren't sure exactly how it was going to be implemented, how impactful and effective it was going to be when that money was distributed out to schools. And I'll brag a little bit here and say that Shape America has been one of the most powerful voices on Capitol Hill when it comes to Title IV Part A. And I'll show you a big reason why. A lot of people might miss this on the screen, but you see this 16,202 here.
Mm-hmm.
That's how many action alerts have been sent to Capitol Hill on Title IV Part A just from Shape America. And if you actually click on that number, you can see this map here. It's a pretty powerful visual, I think, where you can see all over the country. We've hit every single state here, and we've had advocates for health and PE sending this action alert to their members of Congress, asking them to support full funding for Title IV Part A in order to support health and PE. How cool is that? So this collective voice is just, again, critically important when it comes to advocacy. We want to make sure that they are hearing from us loud and clear.
Yeah, I can see that my state's got some voices, and I can see that some of my other states, we've got opportunities to grow. So this is such a neat visual, and it shows how by clicking that send or like tailoring that template, how that shows up as a voice and as an important contributor to supporting these critical issues.
Absolutely. And just quickly, I'll show you on our Title II action alert, which is probably a little bit newer. You'll see here only 2,215 have sent that one. So this map is going to look a little bit different. And we could definitely use a little bit more support on this one. So this is my challenge to you all listening to this, is to check out the Legislative Action Center and make sure you send that action alert, and let us know how that goes if you get any feedback.
Carly, this is just like a hidden gem. You and your team have done an outstanding job of keeping track of this so that our legislators can make informed decisions, and we can see the impact that we as individuals, professionals within health and PE, can make a difference in how our legislators might be informing their decisions. Thank you, Carly. This is so incredible. You've shared with us how not only easy it is, but important it is for us to connect with our elected officials, and how this website makes it simple for us to do that. Shifting a little bit, what about those in our community members or general public in our area, folks that might already know the significance and importance of high quality health and PE, but maybe others who don't quite recognize the importance of it? Are there any tools within the Legislative Action Center that might help us connect with or reach our general public or members within our own community?
Yeah, really good question, and really important point. When we talk about advocacy, we talk about direct advocacy, which is reaching out to those elected officials, those legislators, and asking for something specific. But just as important is that grassroots advocacy, where you're advocating to the people around you in your community and trying to get more support for our cause, which is health and physical education for students, right, in our communities. And this is actually one of my favorite tools here on our Legislative Action Center, which I think is super, super cool. If you click on media, that's actually going to take you to a way to submit letters to the editor to local media outlets in your area. So all you have to do is enter your zip code again, and it will pull up all of the media outlets that you can submit a letter to the editor in your area. So how cool. You can click however, whichever ones you want to target specifically. Here's Washington Post even, right? And then you just click send a message. Again, you can select however many or whichever ones you like, and then just easily draft a letter to the editor. Click, enter your information, click send, and it'll send that right off to all of these different media outlets where you're able to write a letter to the editor, share your voice and your opinion with your local community, which I think, again, is just such another really interesting and powerful tool that's right here, at the click of a button. How about that? We also have one actually on our homepage that's even pre-drafted for you. This one is this letter to the editor template is specifically related to the Every Student Succeeds Act and how health and physical education were added to federal education law for the first time, and actually part of a well-rounded education. So again, you can make edits to that, but if you're looking for, even a place to start, to send in a letter to the editor, you can use that as a template. And again, just select what media outlets you want to send that to. And I'll tell you what, we have had a number of advocates actually use this tool and be successful in getting a letter to the editor placed in their local papers. So it works. It does. Advocacy works, as I always say.
That is really powerful. And I know that I'm going to be using that now that I not only understand that how simple it is, but the impact. And when you look at just the list of media outlets, I think sometimes I forget how many outlets and what audiences reach within my area and region. So
yeah, absolutely. It's pretty amazing, I think.
Well, Carly, you have shown us some high points here on the Legislative Action Center. I need to spend some more time here, and I hope everyone else who's listening, who hasn't yet had a chance to navigate and explore, will spend some time getting to know and a little bit more familiar with other tools and information that's on our site. What do you anticipate, where would you want to direct people to spend some more time as they dive deeper into the Legislative Action Center?
Yeah, so again, a lot of great tools here. In addition to what we walked through today, you're also able to click on bills, take a look at particular legislation that Shape America is either actively supporting and advocating for or watching, just to see how that legislation actually moves through Congress. You can take a look at, again, votes on particular legislation that we might be watching as well. You can also find information about your local elections, deadlines to register for vote, how to register to vote, and then, all of the necessary information that you would need to participate in your local elections. So lots of great tools here, even beyond what we had a chance to show you today.
And I also see up on the top navigation, Advocacy Home, ESSA, blog, webinars, take action, and position statements. I bet there's some outstanding resources and information that people could use to build out or enhance their stories or connect to their community members with the resources shared up there. So thanks so much for giving us a tour and sharing with us how we can use the resources here on the Legislative Action Center site to help us really connect with stakeholders, educate legislators about the value of high quality health and physical education programs, and either solicit or encourage continued support for funding and resources for health and PE in schools.
Absolutely. And if you take a look at the Legislative Action Center and you get a little taste of this advocacy in action and you want more, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention our virtual 2022 Speak Out Day is coming up very soon. And you still have an opportunity to register through February 20th. And our virtual Speak Out Day will be happening March 14th through the 18th. We'll be doing prep sessions to make sure that you're completely prepared to participate in those virtual meetings with your members of Congress, provide you with all of the resources and tools that you need to be able to be successful. And we'll also ensure that you will be paired with either other folks from your state, Shape America staff, Shape America board members, or other advocates to be able to actually do those virtual meetings with members of Congress and their staff. So another really exciting advocacy opportunity coming your way very soon.
Thank you, Carly. And for those listening, don't forget, when you connect with your legislators or your representatives, be sure to tag #CareerWhy to tell a little bit about why you chose to become a physical educator, a health educator, the impact that you're having, and tag For the Love of HPE. Thanks for joining us and have a great day.